You know the grammar, but your fear kills your English the moment you open your mouth.
Stop saying I'm nervous. Say I'm still practicing or bear with me.
And there is one secret phrase that stops people from judging you instantly.
Wait, Emma. People do judge me. I can feel it.
They aren't judging your English, Jack. They are waiting for your confidence.
But how do I find confidence when my heart is racing?
Jack is at a party. A native speaker says, "Hello."
Hello? Fine? Bye?
The conversation ended before it started. Jack feels like a failure. Use this. Bear with me. I'm still practicing.
Bear with me. I'm still practicing.
It tells the other person to be patient.
My English is a bit rusty today.
Perfect. Rusty means you need more practice. But wait, there is a mistake most learners make that actually makes fear worse.
I try to translate every word in my head first.
That is the silence trap, Jack. It creates long, scary gaps.
But I want to be 100% correct.
Correct is boring. Communication is the goal. Instead of silence, use fillers.
Fillers? Like and
No. Use "let me see" or "how should I put this?"
Let me see. I think the movie was great.
It gives your brain 3 seconds to think.
That's a good question.
Exactly. Use that while you plan your answer. But listen to this. There is a way to handle a mistake that actually makes you look smarter.
If I say, he go to shop, I want to run away and hide.
Don't hide. Just say, and fix it.
He goes to the shop.
See? You corrected yourself. That shows you know the grammar.
What I meant to say was,
Even better. It sounds very professional. Use "let me rephrase that."
let me rephrase that.
Use "I'm losing my words today."
I'm losing my words today.
It makes the other person laugh and relax. But wait, what if you completely forget a common word? Thingy is not the answer. If you forget the word key, describe it.
The metal thing for the door?
Yes. Say, it's a kind of tool used for opening doors.
It's a kind of tool used for opening doors.
You never stopped talking. That is the secret to fluency.
It's like a pen, but for drawing.
A pencil. You see, you don't need the exact word to be understood.
That feels like a game. But Emma, what if they speak too fast and I get scared?
Most learners just smile and nod. That is a social trap. You are the boss of the conversation, Jack.
I am? But they are the native speaker.
Say, "Could you slow down a notch?"
Could you slow down a notch?
Or, "I didn't quite catch that."
I didn't quite catch that.
Now they will help you instead of leaving you behind. Wait, stop.
What happened?
Look at your shoulders. They are near your ears. You look like you're fighting a lion.
I'm just trying to remember my verbs.
If your body is stiff, your brain stays locked. Use "no rush."
No rush.
Use "take your time."
Take your time.
Say these to yourself or the other person. It lowers the stress.
Let's see.
Much better. Confidence starts with a breath. But there's one specific social situation that creates the most fear of all.
An interview?
No, it's making small talk with a stranger in a grocery store.
Why is the grocery store scary? I just buy bread.
Because when someone asks, "Is this line moving?" your brain thinks they are asking for your life story.
Exactly. I just look at the floor and say yes.
Use "I reckon so," or "it seems like it." But wait, what if you are the one who needs to start the talk? There is a 3-word magic opener. Don't talk about yourself. Talk about the world around you.
The sky is blue?
No. Say, "Crazy weather, huh?"
Crazy weather, huh?
Or "busy today, isn't it?"
Busy today, isn't it?
These are safe phrases. They don't require big grammar.
What if they answer with a long sentence I don't know?
use the echo technique. If they say, the humidity is quite stifling today, and you only know today,
I say today?
yes, repeat the last word with a question mark.
Stifling?
They will explain it for you. You don't have to do the work.
Stifling? What do you mean?
Perfect. Now they are teaching you for free. Quickfire round. How do you say, I don't know, without sounding like a kid?
I have no clue.
Good. Or, I'm not entirely sure.
I'm not entirely sure.
Or, beats me.
Beats me.
But listen, there's a specific word that native speakers use when they are thinking. It's not Use actually or basically.
Basically, I think we should go.
It makes you sound like you are analyzing the situation.
Well, actually, I disagree.
Look at you! You sound confident even when you disagree.
Emma, what if I'm in a meeting and I'm afraid to interrupt?
That's the invisible person fear. You need a soft entry. Don't wait for silence. It never comes.
I just start shouting?
No. Say, sorry to jump in, but...
Sorry to jump in, but I have an idea.
Or, could I just add something here?
Could I just add something here?
It's like a polite knock on the door of the conversation. Jack, stop trying to speak perfect English.
But that's why I'm here.
Even native speakers make mistakes. They say, I seen it, or me and him. Use gonna and wanna.
I'm gonna go to the shop.
It's easier to say, and it sounds more natural.
I want to learn more.
Good. It breaks the textbook robot sound. But wait, what if you're in a restaurant and the order is wrong? Most learners eat the wrong food because they're afraid to speak. Don't say, this is bad.
I hate this soup.
No, use, I'm sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
I'm sorry, I think there's been a mistake.
Or, this isn't quite what I ordered.
This isn't quite what I ordered.
It's polite, so you don't have to be afraid of the waiter.
I feel much better. But Emma, what about the phone?
Ah, the phone phobia.
I hate it. I can't see their face.
There is a two-step system to kill phone fear forever.
Emma, when the phone rings, I want to throw it out the window.
Because you can't see their lips move, right?
Yes, and they talk so fast.
The trick is control the call. Say, speaking slowly, please.
Speaking slowly, please?
Or, better, you're breaking up a bit.
You're breaking up a bit?
Even if the signal is good, it gives you an excuse to ask them to repeat.
Could you repeat that last part?
Exactly. You just bought yourself more time.
What if I need to call a doctor or a bank?
Use the reason for calling chunk. Don't just say hello. Say, I'm calling to,
I'm calling to book an appointment.
or I'm calling regarding.
I'm calling regarding my bank account.
It tells the other person exactly what to do.
I'm calling about the job ad.
Perfect, direct, and professional. Jack, if you want to stop being afraid, you need to shadow.
Like, follow someone in the dark?
No, repeat what I say exactly when I say it. Let's try it. I will speak, and you copy my music. Fast. I was wondering if you could help me.
I was wondering if you could help me.
Slow and smooth. That's a really good point.
That's a really good point.
Shadowing trains your mouth to move without your brain overthinking.
My tongue feels like it's at the gym. Emma, what if I'm in a group and everyone is talking at once?
That's the group storm. You need to find a gap. Don't wait for a long silence. Use a bridge phrase.
Hey, listen to me.
No, too aggressive. Say, that reminds me of a...
That reminds me of a story I heard.
Or, I was just thinking about that.
I was just thinking about that.
It connects your thought to theirs. Jack, stop apologizing for your English.
But I want to be polite.
Every time you say sorry for my bad English, you tell your brain you are failing. Instead of sorry for my English, say thanks for your patience.
Thanks for your patience.
Instead of I don't understand, say could you explain that differently?
Could you explain that differently?
You are now a student, not a victim.
I'm still getting used to the accent.
Great, that's a very natural thing to say. But wait, there is one super tool you have in your pocket right now that can kill your fear in 5 minutes a day.
My phone? For Google Translate?
No, for your voice recorder.
Record myself speaking? For 1 minute?
I hate my own voice. Everyone does, but listening helps you hear your own rhythm.
I recorded myself and I sounded better than I thought.
Exactly. Fear is usually a lie we tell ourselves.
I feel so much stronger today.
We are entering the final stage,
What's left?
the recovery. What to do when you make a huge mistake and everyone is looking at you.
Emma, what if I say something really embarrassing, like calling my boss mom?
It happens to the best of us.
I would want to disappear.
Don't disappear. Own the moment. There is a phrase that turns a big mistake into a funny joke. When you mess up, just smile and say, brain fog, sorry.
Brain fog, sorry.
Or, my English is still waking up today.
My English is still waking up today.
It makes people smile and realize you're human.
I'm having a bit of a tongue-tied moment.
Perfect. Tongue-tied is a great idiom for when you can't speak clearly.
What if I forget the name of the person I'm talking to?
Oh, the classic. Use the honest approach. Don't guess. Say, I'm so sorry, your name has just slipped my mind.
Your name has just slipped my mind.
Or, remind me of your name again.
Remind me of your name again.
It's polite and much better than calling them the wrong name.
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Jack, tell me, how do you feel now compared to 20 minutes ago?
Honestly, I feel like I have a toolbox in my head.
That's exactly it. Fear comes from having no tools. But listen, there is one final boss of fear: public speaking. If you have to speak in front of people, start with a soft opening.
I'm scared. Please help.
No, say, I'll keep this brief.
I'll keep this brief.
Or, I'd like to share a few thoughts.
I'd like to share a few thoughts.
It tells the audience you won't talk forever, so they relax, and you relax too.
Emma, I'm ready. I'm going to go talk to that group over there.
Wait, do you have your escape phrase ready? You need a way to leave if you get tired.
I'll just run away.
No, say, it was lovely chatting with you.
It was lovely chatting with you.
Or, I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
I'll let you get back to what you were doing.
It's the most professional way to say goodbye.
Catch you later.
You see, Jack, fear is just a feeling, but these phrases are facts.
I realize now I don't need to be perfect to be understood.
Exactly. Your English is a bridge, not a prison.
I'm going to cross that bridge right now.
What is the one thing you are most afraid of saying in English?
I'm afraid of ordering at a busy restaurant.
Comment your biggest fear below, and I will give you a magic phrase to fix it.
I'll be waiting in the comments.
You've got this. See you in the next lesson.